Alright, good afternoon everybody. My name is Fareed Chaktai, also known as Fareed the Tailor. Just to make it clear, I didn't make the suit. I want to give credit where it's due. The RW coat, that's where I bought it from, and the shirt's from Calvin Klein. I just altered the suit, but that's it. So I am part of the Sheridan alumni community. I went to Sheridan College at Davis campus from 2013 to 2016 in the marketing program. And this is my entrepreneur story. So it's kind of tough just summarizing your whole story into one slide, but I'll try to do my best and not go on for like 20 minutes. I guess my journey really is rooted into my family history. Everybody who knows me knows that my business has everything to do with my roots. I was 1 year old when I came to Canada, so I was completely disconnected from my family history. It's not something that was discussed in my household. But I guess halfway through high school, I began to develop a keen interest in my family history. Near the end of high school, I was blessed to find out a lot of information about my family history. I basically came across a website that was dedicated to my grandma's side of the family, and I had discovered that we had a heritage of tailoring in our family since the mid-1700s. My grandpa's family was also in the tailoring business, but probably not as long, maybe 100 years or around that. So long story short, I kind of just picked up the thread and needle. In 2013, with the help of my mom, I purchased my first sewing machine from the Singer store. And I was really blessed that my aunt from the other side of my family, who's totally into sewing, visited from Denmark. And she taught me how to, she taught me how to use my sewing machine. And she was a very strict teacher, so it kind of made me almost hate sewing because of the long nights, but it was very important. So after that, I started a small little business venture called Unique Pouches. We used to stitch phone cases, stuff like that in high school. I came to Sheridan College in 2013, the same year, and we began expanding the business here. I had a great team of friends who was helping me with it. In 2014, I basically decided that this business wasn't so ideal. As per my family history, there were more tailors working with clothing. I decided in 2014 to become an actual tailor. The reason I mention this is so that everybody, you don't feel like you're abandoning your business if you decide you need to move on to something else. You might just be gearing more towards your goals. So currently, I guess I'm just expanding on I'm expanding my business in Brampton and the GTA. Most of my clients, I would say, are in Brampton and Mississauga. A lot of them are probably in Toronto and etc. My journey, I guess I do a lot of different things. Early when I started my business, I got contacted by a dance team known as Sheridan Toronto. I started stitching dance costumes for them, and from there I went on to doing costumes for York University teams, Ryerson, Waterloo, and I also work with many choreographers today to help them make dance costumes. Apart from that, I do alterations and a bunch of different things involved with tailoring. And right now, I guess I just work on a daily basis. I work with just maintaining client relationships. So I guess being an entrepreneur, whenever you hear about it, the main thing that everybody seems to focus on is freedom and being your own boss. Not to fire any shots, but even pyramid schemes, whenever they market business to you, they always market it being your own boss. I guess another huge advantage is a flexible schedule. There are downsides to having a very flexible schedule. You might totally ruin your sleeping routines like I do. I actually totally skipped sleep last night and I just had dinner like 5 hours ago. So apart from that, another great thing about business is you really develop communication skills. If you're not a talker, you will become one, and I guess I'm an example in front of you. You get to meet great, amazing people on a weekly basis. I meet new people every single week. I help them fix their clothes. I help them look better, and yeah, it's great. I guess another great asset of being an entrepreneur is better financial success. If you're used to having a stable income and you like that, then a job might be perfect for you. But if you're looking at maybe expanding your income hourly or on a daily basis or on a monthly basis, business has huge potential for that. And I guess last on my list is getting to be creative, because that's one of the best things about business. You get to be very creative. There's a vast range for you to be creative in multiple ways. So my next slide is about school. So school, it's not everybody's cup of tea. I guess it definitely wasn't mine. In high school, I wasn't part of a single club. I used to miss a lot of classes, and if I was tired, I would definitely miss first period. But when I came to Sheridan College, I joined the Sheridan Business Council, which is where I met John McCray. So before I get onto that, I'd like to discuss courses. So courses basically, like, pretty much, most of the time we hate going to our courses sitting during a lecture, but I think we can all agree that it's very beneficial. It helps us at the end of the day. If it wasn't for these courses, I wouldn't have learned all the business math, most of which I did forget, but I mean, it's still, it's still very beneficial. If it wasn't for these classes, I wouldn't have learned the format of how to write a professional email, and etc. So all these courses help you greatly in your ventures. Clubs and co-curricular activities, so that's what really, I guess, all the stuff that I remember, the hands-on stuff, is from extra clubs that we used to do at Sheridan College. So specifically the Business Council, which is where we learned a lot of different skills. And I guess one of these events is also, like, it's hosted by the Marketing Association, so you learn how to set up events, you learn how to get out there, and learn how to do hands-on stuff. Again, great connection building and networking. You get to meet amazing people, you get to build connections, and if it wasn't for these connections, I wouldn't be standing in front of you today speaking. So I guess when you build all these connections, you get out there, you're able to reach out to more people, and you never know who you'll meet in school, and who'll help you progress. And of course, like, last but not least, if you go to school and you actually finish, which hopefully most of them do, you get a piece of paper, and that looks nice when you're applying for jobs. So yeah, it is what it is. So tips to get going if you're looking to be an entrepreneur and get your own business going is, my personal opinion is, you always have to be passionate about what you do, and you really got to love what you do. It's very important to do a lot of research on your market and understand your competition, and etc. Taking risks is one of the biggest things about business. If you're scared to take risks, it's tough to move forward. So you need to learn how to take risks, you need to learn to get out there, you need to be bold. With me personally, I'm not that bold a lot of the time, but I just act like I'm bold and it just works. So I guess just act like you're bold. And then always evaluate your progress and go over your main goals. So this is something that I always put online on my page, Muslim Marketing, which is a marketing consulting social media page. So I honestly believe that every single month, everybody who has a small business or even just a project, just sit down and evaluate your goals, study what you were doing right, what you were doing wrong. If you collect your financial data, study why you were doing better in some months versus, like, your weak points. Understand why you started. Remember your main goal and let that drive you forward, because it's easy to forget. Like, just even to this presentation, I'm talking about a whole lot of things. But at the end of the day, I have a main goal. It's moving my family history forward. So I always try to remember that and always stick strong to that. And the picture I used was a market evaluation I did in my business, and I honestly can't even remember when I took that picture. So clearly, I need to learn how to take my own advice. So thank you guys for listening to my presentation. That was it. And if you guys want to contact me, my contact information is below. You can follow my page at TikTok. I love having, nobody over your head always pushing you to do what you got to do. You have that flexibility and you have that freedom. So I think that's one of the best things about it, is just your own freedom to do what you want to do. Just build a schedule. Once you build a schedule, I feel like it gets a bit easier. And then, but in terms of, like, if I get too much work per week and I can't handle it, if there's no way, you just gotta kind of suck it up and just try your best to get through it. For me personally, I feel like it always works out. Not to make it like a spiritual talk, but I also pray a lot, and it kind of just gets me through everything, So it is what it is. I guess just, trying your best to balance out your schedule, and always take care of yourself first. Put yourself before your business, because if you don't, then it's easy to get dragged. Does that answer your question? Yeah.
What's an example of a risk that you took in order to get everything going?
Okay, it's a tough one. There's probably so many in the last 4 years or 5 years. I guess the biggest risk that I've always taken is moving on to the next project. In stitching, if you know one thing, it doesn't mean you know another. So when I started, I would only make certain. When I started with my dance team, they called me and they gave me the offer for the order, and like 80% of people would have said they couldn't do it because I didn't know how to make costumes. But I kind of just took on the task and I learned how to do it. And it was super scary because this team was global and, you know, they were going to use it in a performance that was going to be recorded. But I just kind of went and did it and it worked out. And now I work with choreographers because they know my work is good. Same thing with suit jackets. I was very hesitant to work on them. But it's my friends always, they always push me. They're like, you can do it, just work on our stuff. They give me their expensive clothes and they trust me and like, it just works out every time. So it's crazy. If you have a supportive team and they push you to take risks, just listen to them and just go for it. That's it. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
But I just, like a few months ago, I just kind of stood my ground. Like just today, actually, like with my schedule wasn't working out, and I just told the person I can't. And they said, they just kind of hit me with the, all right, it's not working out, and I'm going, you know, to someone else. And I just said, all right. Well, actually, they said thumbs up. But yeah, basically just stand your ground and learn to just like say no. It's scary because it's like you might have no business on the table, you know? So it's tough to do that. But it is what it is. You've got to stand your ground and you not let people run you over. Apart from that, to be very specific, I work on reviews. So if somebody has a good experience with me, I kind of get on them to leave a review. And right now I'm sitting at probably, I would say just about 45 reviews. In total, I think there's 47, and like I'm not gonna lie to you, one of them is like it was like a bad experience. It kind of went both ways. But other than that, they're all amazing reviews. They're 5-star reviews. And like I would say, like 40% of the time people come to me, they say they came to me because of my reviews. My shop is still in the house, and people sometimes come from over like 30 kilometers away. Like sometimes one time it was even 2 hours away. And people always say it's my reviews, and that's what pushed them, you know, to come to me. So reviews are huge. Always work on your reviews. And my reviews, I keep it organic. I keep it 100. I don't tell my friends. My friends, some of them left reviews because they're really stubborn. But I always work on organic reviews and getting real reviews. So try to get like real opinions and always keep it honest with your business. Does that answer your question? If you have more questions, you can ask me after. Yeah. I guess that's all. Yeah.
There's more questions after. That's good.
Yeah. In the end, you guys can bring more questions. All right. Thank you guys for your time. I appreciate it.